Ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks,
And this is Ito,
and we are
the Carbonation Conversation.
reviewing the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you hear, like the vibe, all that good stuff. Uh,
Sick.
Definitely. What'd you think? I know you've been waiting to talk about this finale, baby. What did
Oh,
you think?
it was fantastic.
Hmm.
It was a great finale. I thought it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I didn't really have a lot of complaints with the overall season. I know I heard some people complain because I guess they did a lot of reshoots
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the season, and I mean, I guess I'm not in film, or maybe I'm just not paying attention. Like I couldn't really tell, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, apparently, I mean, you probably weren't supposed to, but they said there was a lot of stuff they cut out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, but it
from
flowed.
what I heard.
Yeah, it seemed to flow well to me. And yeah, this episode was great. I really, really enjoyed it. Again, my boy Vincent over there as the Kingpin, man, he is just
Yeah,
wow.
every now and then the voice
Yeah, yeah,
it gets to me a little bit.
yeah, man. I hate that's one of my things with this
Yeah.
too, because I'm just like, man, why do you have to like you sound so
Like, I don't know if he's just trying to sound big or something.
yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
is
That
definitely.
that I thought you were gonna complain about the fact that Matt was injured and the whole thing.
Oh
And then
yeah,
they try to play it off, but there was a couple times where like, like it was,
yeah, I was,
but they try to show him injured a little bit. Yeah,
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 yeah, the definite, when he's in
yeah,
this house scene with the
yeah.
Punisher, I did notice he was using his, I don't know what you would call his stick,
The baton.
the
Yeah.
batons, a little bit more, but yeah, it is hard. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you got shot in what, like the collarbone, like right
Yeah,
here,
yeah, the
like right
shoulder.
in
I
this
don't know if it was the
area.
collarbone, but maybe a shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder area. Some
I feel
people.
like if it was the collarbone, he probably won't be able to do much
Yeah,
at
that
all.
is true. Yeah,
Like
well,
maybe here,
yeah, somewhere, and so yeah, I couldn't imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like the next day, like
yeah.
even being able to get out the bed, like. But obviously, we know
I
he
guess
is.
he's not normal, I guess you could say.
Yeah, he got some of that Bruce Wayne, that Batman special ability. So does the Punisher too. He's one of those characters too. Okay, but let's get into it. So it opens up. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ito, with Vanessa.
Well,
And,
it opens off re showing the shooting
yes,
and Matt jumping in front of that. Like him, it shows Bullseye looking through the scope, taking a deep breath, and then Matt jumping in front of the bullet, and even Bullseye being shocked about it.
yes,
That then it flashbacks
yes.
to
Because if you,
right,
yeah, go ahead.
but to Vanessa going to Bullseye or Dex in prison, and he's all drugged up,
Hmm.
and basically offers him freedom in order for him to take out the snitch and Foggy.
Yes. Okay, so I thought it was interesting, the way Bullseye kind of looked, because if you remember doing the interrogation scene with Matt Murdock, Bullseye has no idea that Matt is Daredevil,
Yeah,
correct?
well, that's as far as we know, it's still
Okay,
not 100%.
okay, okay,
We really don't know.
okay.
It makes it
So
seem like it hasn't. Doesn't make it seem like it, but then at the same time, sometimes it does.
yeah,
And even
okay,
reviews I've watched, they were like they're not even sure. Like maybe by the end of the episode, or maybe after he took the shot right now,
yeah,
that's when he kind of realized it because you don't see Bullseye again to the end of the episode after this. Really, he has
yes,
nothing really else to do with the story, just this part. And then
yes,
you see him at the very end where they do the montage or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, so
I was just curious, but go
right, yeah.
continue.
But like basically he uses the fact that FBI corruption was the way that they were able to get Fisk out of his prison sentence. So
Mhm.
she said we could use the same way. Like why should he benefit and not you?
Yes,
So she's using the whole FBI scandal shit for him to be able to get out on appeal.
Yes, and that's why he was like in the beginning of the season, he was like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is, that's why he was kind of tripping. Like he's like,
Yeah.
what is going on? That he got sent to General Pop. It's always interesting to me because Bullseye, he's like heavily medicated when Vanessa's talking to him, like you say. And it's always one of those cases where it's like, yeah, he doesn't look like he's in a good frame of mind, or maybe he is, and that's just how his life is gonna be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because clearly, once he is off his medication, he's just batshit
Well,
crazy.
he's back. Yeah, I mean, it's just
Like,
himself. He's back, but that's what was controlling him was that medication. Because you
yeah,
remember at the end of season three of Daredevil, basically, Fisk is the one that broke his back.
yes,
Because he got mad that Fisk apparently was gonna hurt somebody that he cared for. So Fisk ended up breaking his back, and at the end credits they show him putting some a metal vertebrae on him, which they never address
yes.
in this at all. You know what I mean? But
Hmm. Yeah,
it makes you seem like that's how he survived the fall, maybe in the first episode.
yeah, yeah. It
You
had
know
to
what I
be.
mean?
It
Yeah,
definitely
something
had to
like
be.
that. But
Uh,
uh, but yeah, that basically they show that, and even the fact that when he signs his name, it's a marker, not a pen
yeah,
or a pencil that he could use for a weapon. It was like a
yeah,
black
yeah.
marker and
Oh,
shit.
that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice
yeah,
that. I didn't
yeah,
even notice that.
yeah.
And man, I cannot say the beginning of the Daredevil, like the opening theme, like I love it. I absolutely love it. You know what I'm saying? Those are. This is one of the series where when it's like the beginning opening and it says skip, I'm like, nah. I'm gonna let it play. I like it. I like it a lot. But I
Renee always skips it.
that's like my Boardwalk Empire. I love the beginning of that too. Um, but anyways, I believe we go to Matt being in the hospital, correct?
Yeah, him waking up in the hospital. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And with him is Heather and is it
K-
Kirsten?
Kirsten, I think. Yeah.
Yes, Heather and Kirsten. And Matt says the first thing that you should never say, no matter if you have a wife or
Another woman's name.
like that is unless it's his
Karen,
mother.
Karen, and they're like,
Unless it's
and
his
then they're like,
mother.
yeah, even like a review I saw was like, was he that powerful that he was able to smell her getting off the airplane? Like, all right,
Ah, that's
like,
so
like that's why he said her name. Like, Jesus,
oh wow. Yeah, it's so funny. And obviously Heather looks at Kirsten after he says that, and we forget, I mean not forget, but the previous episode, Matt was kind of whacking out, right? Like he was just, Mr. He wasn't wrong, but
right?
he was the way he went about it was just kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
At the same time, it's just like by now, like Heather, you don't realize that he's Daredevil. Like, it's
Yeah,
not like,
yeah, definitely, definitely. He wakes up and he's still kind of on the same mode. He's basically telling Heather and Kirsten, like, look, Foggy was into some stuff. He's trying to explain it, but they're both even like at this point, they're just kind of like, yeah. Oh, okay. They don't really believe him at all.
yeah,
They're just telling him to like get better, be safe. We'll talk about this later, that type
right,
of
right.
and do we want to continue Matt's story or do we want to talk about
Well,
uh
we'll talk about like basically Vanessa was gonna confess to uh Fist about him putting the hit on Foggy, but he was like, "Oh, I already know,"
yeah,
and then they started talking about Red Hook and basically saying, well, once that you're moving millions, we'll be able to move billions.
yes.
Now, I ran to save this city, but opportunities present themselves.
Mm-hmm. And so as we see now they're starting to really, really get on the same page. Um, his strike team is just running rampant.
Yeah,
Uh, it is just insane. We got Daniel and Sheila. He's correct me. I mean, I know I'm kind of jumping. You know,
What?
I may not be going consistent, but talking about the Fish story, he straight tells Daniel like, "Hey, I need you to go see these people." Daniel is like full like mini boss mode now.
Yeah, yeah, he's full
Like,
on
yeah,
go. And like, I would do anything for this guy. Like,
exactly. Like, and if Fish, I know,
I
I know.
know.
And then he's just looking at Sheila. I believe that's her name, if I'm not mistaken. He's just like,
Yeah, it is.
find anybody who is not on my side. And I thought he was kind of, did you? I thought he was straight threatening her, like, bro, get on board. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if it was like that in there, but he was just basically on boss mode, and it
yeah,
just showed her kind of just fearing and shit. Like, this is what I signed up for, you know. I
yes,
don't know if it was threatening. It was just him just on mode because
yes,
his life was just targeted. You know what I mean?
yep, he is not happy.
But yeah, because he gathered, you know, everybody, the commissioner, even the fucking faithful advisors, the fucking
hmm
police, and all that shit. Basically, like we gotta shut this shitty down, the city down and shit. Lectures them and everything. And what does he say? I like this quote: "In business, there's always a tipping point in negotiation. We are at that place with this city. It just needs a little push, and they'll come to us and op with open arms."
Yes, definitely. And yeah, his plan. I do like I forgot to mention, but anyways, his plan is to basically shut down the entire city's power grid and let just chaos like run amok. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my stuff on silent as it should have
Yeah,
been.
because he basically talks to Buck first, and Buck is telling him like, "Hey, what are you gonna do? Murdoch just saved your life, you know what I
Yes.
mean?" And he's like, "Hey, better a dead hero than a live vigilante
Yes.
type of thing."
I was like,
So
dang.
damn, right? I thought it was gonna be dead. He was like, "Still, go kill his ass, even though he just saved your
Exactly.
life." Like, damn, like
Yep.
I thought he
So,
was gonna
but
be like didn't know what to do. Like I said, "Fuck that! Oh, finish him off," you know.
exactly. And as
And
like
then
you
that's
said,
when he walks out like, "Oh, send in the electrician guy." It wasn't ComEd, it was like ComEd or Con Ed or I forgot what it was. It's some
yeah,
other shit, but it was like the electric guy.
yeah. Uh, and did they just did he tell them to turn it off at a specific time, or did they just give him like the
Well, I
button?
mean, I don't know. They didn't we didn't see that. I just know they called the guy from the electric company, and when Buck went to the hospital, the lights went out.
Man,
You
that
know what I
is
mean? Because I
insane.
guess
Wow.
maybe they thought the panic in the hospital with the lights out would, would drown the sound of Buck coming to kill Matt Murdock. You know what I mean? No, knowing he's a daredevil, like he can't just come in silence. There gotta be other shit distracting him, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You okay there? What are you looking at?
No, no, no. Patty was asking me where the laptop was, and
Oh,
I don't have the laptop. That's well, the other laptop because
yeah.
she has to do homework. Oh, my baby thought I was looking at a
I'm like,
ghost.
what are you doing?
Are you okay?
Did you
See?
go blind, Matt Murdock?
Oh,
Uh,
but yeah, and that was I love the speech that he was giving when the lights went out. That was also awesome. And then we do have the commissioner uh going to Sheila and basically like, I know you don't like this. Like we
right.
should put ourselves together. And this is like after Sheila has been like Kingpin has basically told her what to do, and she basically turns him in, and you could see she is just like
Yeah.
crying
Yeah.
outside the wall, like, yeah, see, that's yeah, I would say, well, I wouldn't want to die like the commissioner, but I will say that no, I will say that I wouldn't mind being first wiped out, I guess, because I couldn't, if I couldn't betray nobody and have them be killed and stuff like that. I don't know if I could do that. That's a little rough.
Yeah.
But I was about to say something. I was literally about to say something else. But I guess we can go to Buck being at the hospital, like we're saying, the lights going out. Buck is at
Yeah.
the hospital. So
So he pulls out a needle.
Hmm.
I guess they, be a little more discreet, I guess. So he pulls out a needle, but Matt Murdock apparently hears his
Heard.
evil footsteps
Yes, heard
walking
that was
in.
footsteps specifically,
Yeah.
which I mean, I don't know if they're just giving him, are they giving him like more extra abilities, or is this just like how would he be able to tell that? But anyways, I mean,
Yeah, I know. I don't know, like the difference between a walk of somebody that's visiting somebody in the hospital or somebody that's on
yes,
a mission. I don't.
yeah,
The only
that
thing
would
I
have
can
to be
think
a lot
of,
of
like,
memory recognition.
yeah,
Like, yeah, it's almost kind of like the painting.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but anyways, Matt is not there. He's able
So he gets
to
out, right? He's able to
escape.
get back to his crib.
Yes, and chaos is obviously my bad. Chaos is wreaking havoc. People are looting,
Yeah, because
all of that.
because the power's out in the whole city basically.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, like you can see they showed the map that the lights are out on the other side of the river and the lights are on, which is Jersey. You know,
Yes.
so they're
That
like,
that
oh,
was pretty
that
cool. It was like
right,
doosh,
the city,
doosh, doosh,
right,
doosh. I like that. That
yeah.
that was pretty cool.
So
And I
even like
also think,
something I watched it was like, oh, so the Kamala dinner safe. Remember you invited him for dinner and shit in Jersey? Yeah,
yeah,
their dinner safe. No.
yep, yep.
Stupid shit like that. But yeah, he walks into the crib and right away he's got a smile on his face and like, oh, didn't expect to see you here. Last person I expected to see, basically. And then it was the pan over and they had like the little and then everybody was all out
Yeah,
crazy. Ah, it's Punisher.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep. Karen's back. She's there.
Well, not yet, not
Oh
yet.
no, oh no. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the whole fight scene right now.
Oh
When you
yeah.
yeah.
And he was like, I forget. Punisher was like, "Why'd you take a bullet for him?" And Matt is like, "I don't know." And
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. At least he's honest. He doesn't know. But obviously,
And there was the whole thing because they were like, you got nothing to make it, at least the coffee thing. Apparently, like in the first couple of seasons, and then even with a couple of other the Netflix like Defenders and shows and shit, that cup of coffee was like another word for sex.
mm,
They even talked
right.
about it and stuff. And then like at the third season of Daredevil, they weren't even allowed to have coffee on the fucking scenes or some shit like that. There was a whole thing about
Oh,
that.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's
Yeah, there
pretty
was a whole
cool.
thing about that. So they're like, I don't know if they're trying to bring that back. Even later on, they mentioned it again when Karen's around. But
Yeah.
anyway,
But yeah,
um,
we got
yeah, basically they start talking this shit. Oh, I got a call. He's like, who called you? He's like, don't worry about it, that
yeah.
type of thing.
And the Kingpin obviously sends the strike team
Well,
to
yeah, because he
Matt's
escaped
house.
they escaped the hospital, so they sent him to his crib and shit.
Yeah.
Pretty sure, and it doesn't seem like Buck or Kingpin told him that he's a daredevil because it looked like he's just walking in there like nothing, you
Yes,
know.
and what's so crazy is like the Punisher, man, like he kills violently. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
like they're already dead from the first shot, but he puts like another 18 in you. It's just
Yeah,
like I think it was the one scene where he popped someone in the head and was like pop, pop, pop. It was just like, oh shit.
yeah,
Like
yeah. It was like
yeah.
yeah, yeah. He like the one. I was like, was it this scene? Like the one guy, he hit him and his fucking face went into the banister, and tooth busted and shit.
Oh yeah.
And then they just shot him a couple times in
Oh
the head. Like,
dude, it's
damn.
like it's so funny because it's almost kind of like John Wick, but like angrier.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so freaking angry when he kills people. It is so crazy. And then they find out that one of the officers who was there was the one who
yeah,
killed White Tiger because he
yeah.
has
It
a
was
bullet case.
Cole North was the
Yes,
name of the cop. Yeah, apparently he was the one that ended up killing White Tiger,
yeah,
and because he's the one he actually clipped Punisher and shit. And
yes,
we found that casing. Out of all the casings that fell in this place,
yeah.
we find the one casing that clipped him.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
you
you know
know.
how it is,
It's Marvel, you know
And
what I'm
then
saying?
they pin him down, and then it was a scene where like Daredevil and Punisher like save each other, boom, boom, like from each other's backs and shit. So it was
Yeah,
pretty cool. Pretty
I like it.
cool. And then
The guy's like, I
uh,
did it for my brothers. I'm like, boy, if you don't get your ass up out of
it's
here.
fucking
Yeah,
then he looks looked like Matt wants to kill his ass, but then he ends up hitting his ass hard as hell, even with like loses his step and
Yeah.
shit, and
I'm
knocks
pretty
him
sure he
out.
died during the
You
explosion.
know, well, yeah, of course. Come
So
on
he
now.
it's
You
good. It's
know,
good.
but then I even up, Punisher was about to shoot him and he gets in the way, don't do it. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, he's not worth it. And he points at some other guy, is he worth it?
I was just about oh, was that killed me.
I was like, this motherfucker, like, damn.
He's like, oh my God, they're like the ghetto Professor X and Magneto. No
Right?
killing people. No
Right.
killing people.
They start they stay arguing, of course, and then next thing you know, a grenade comes in and he's like, oh shit, grenade. They both jump out, they fucking land on the car, and then
Yeah.
that's when we see
Yeah,
Karen.
Karen comes up, get in, goes off. He finds out, Matt finds out that she was the one who called.
Of course. It was funny, like you said, like Cole North, of course, died in that explosion. But it's like whoever threw the grenade, like how did they know his people were all dead? And
Yeah, yeah,
he was
yeah,
just ready to sacrifice everybody just to get rid of these fucking guys. Is that what it was? And
yeah,
then it
yeah.
was funny, like
Kingpin.
even after the explosion, they show like some shoes hanging on the wire. It's
Yeah,
like you probably think it was there already, but it's like you'd like to think that was a Cole North shoe.
yeah, yeah, man. It's insane how many. Yeah, Kingpin don't care. You know
Yeah.
that what you just said kind of reminds me. You remember in the Dark Knight when Joker unleashes the dogs, but he's beating the dogs and Batman at
Yeah.
the same time and stuff. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess, and it's chaos
You
outside
remind me of
because
you remind me of a Simpsons episode when Chief Wiggum was like he had some some police dogs that he was starving and he's like speaking to him off to on me by Bo, on me by me, and then when he releases them, they all attack his ass.
yeah, now I remember that. I remember that. And meanwhile, outside it is police chaos. I mean, they killed the one of the officers. Like, dude, you just killed the kid. He's like,
He
he's
just
not a kid.
pulls the hoodie over. He's a vigilante. Like
I
you
was like, oh
bitch.
man, damn, they wilding out in these.
It did look like Matt Murdock when he first was running around in the first season of Daredevil, the hoodie
Yeah.
down, the hat down. So,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Oh, good. Oh, wow.
it
Great
did
point.
look like
Great
that,
point.
right?
Yeah, definitely. So we're Matt is still trying to figure out what is going on with the port because they really
Right.
don't know. And I don't, do they actually find out?
Yeah.
Okay, they do find out because I didn't know if it was just Kingpin explaining it or they actually find
No,
it.
that's when him and Karen go look searching that storage. They find that paper basically saying that the Red Hook is a free port, which is not with the government. It's basically untaxed shit. There's no laws there.
And it's
They could
exempt from
they
federal,
right.
nobody
They
can
could
do
ship
anything.
whatever the fuck they want,
Yes. And
and
I had
basically
to,
will have their own city or little town for
yeah.
themselves,
I
type of
had
thing.
to Google that to see if anything was like that for real. Like we do have free ports,
They have
but
government run ports, yeah,
yes,
like
but there is
federal run
nothing
ports,
like
but
that. It
no,
was so funny because like I
maybe
got
other countries. No.
yeah,
Yeah, there were
yeah,
maybe other
yeah,
countries, but no, not here.
yeah. I was like, wow, is that? I was like, let me ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT's like, no, it is not like the movie. It was like it is not like the series Daredevil, Melvin.
Like, how many
I
people
know
Google it?
exactly how many people Googled that. But yeah, so they do find out. But I will say, as you know, I want to go back briefly to the conversation between the three of them, Punisher, Karen, Punisher. He sits that one out. He's like, investigations. That's kind of your thing.
Yeah,
That type of.
like, I'm
You
done,
know,
yeah, type of
yeah, yeah,
shit.
I'm good. It does seem like some, I guess you can say, coffee tension between Karen and the Punisher. There seems
Exactly. That was a scene right there where he talked about coffee again.
yeah,
That was right. That's what I'm saying. That was like the whole kind of point of that
yeah.
shit. But
Uh
yeah,
and even Matt notices he's like, hey, I noticed you guys heartbeats that which is just like oh come on, Matt. Hey, you're effing
yeah.
Hitler. Come on now. Come on now. That was kind of a little bitch move for you to say that. He's like, well, I heard both of y'all heartbeats and it was pretty steady. Like he's like acting like so jealous right now.
Right?
But
Like,
yeah, so they find out about the port. And I guess I don't want to go to the end of Matt, but basically Matt thinks he can handle it himself. He's literally like holding the arm, trying to go down. The Karen is like, no, like this is not the way to go about it. We need some type of assistance. Like we
Yeah,
need some help.
we need an army type of
Yeah,
shit. And then
yeah,
as I say, then Punisher basically has Cole North's walkie-talkie and hears that they're meeting up at Red Hook. So he's like, "All right, I guess I gotta go."
yeah. Um,
So
then go
yeah,
back to Fisk. He's in his lair.
yeah. Basically, after they this girl tricked on Gallo, he gets in his car and he notices that's not his driver, and it's got a little fresh, nice little tattoo, Punisher tattoo on his neck. So
Hmm.
he already knows he's in for some shit, and it's like he even looks at the car, looks up, he's like Daredevil. No.
Yeah, yeah. And he even said as soon as he starts talking to the officer too, because he's like, "Oh, you're not my normal driver." He's like, "Yeah, I got you know." He's like, "Oh, okay," and he just starts talking to him, and like you said, he just
He just knows something.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so Kingpin takes him, and he is just surrounded by police. He is feeling himself.
But first, like before that, because this coincides with something later on. So first, Punisher gets the Red Hook, basically takes one guy out first, just slicing his fucking throat or whatever. Then it's like the whole part where he's coming out the darkness and you see the Punisher logo. That shit was
Hmm.
badass. Like, oh, he's coming to get y'all asses.
Hmm.
This is the other part I thought maybe would trip on just because like why wouldn't anybody just shoot him, in the head? But apparently they didn't want to kill him right away because they wanted to try and get him to join.
Yes,
But it was
because
like he's over here killing all your fucking people and shit. And anybody from that's up there could probably just shoot him from the top. But apparently the whole point was to take him alive.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. But
They
that was one of those things I thought about. It was like,
yeah, and I mean you are right on that, because I mean, I guess as a cop out, the guy said it. He was like, "Hey, even though even
even though
though
he
you're
took out a butt of my
killing us,
boy, right?
like, and then
Because while that was the scene, while he had his ass tied up, and this guy was trying to get him to join. It was the same time as uh Kingpin was fucking with Gallo.
yes,
It was coincide. They went like back and forth.
and he is, Kingpin is telling the officers just like, you guys are sacrificing yourself out in the street, and look at this guy right here. He is just getting in on the commissioner, and he just puts his huge hands. They really
So
made
yeah,
it
first he like just chops him in the neck.
like,
It goes behind him, double chops him in the side of the neck, gets his head down, and then just I didn't expect this. I did not
yeah,
expect it either. Then when
I,
I saw him, like, oh shit, he's just his big ass hands just you
yeah,
hear like
his hands look
crunching and shit, and
monstrous,
yeah.
and just, and it,
That was probably like I was like, this is Disney?
they can when they want to
That was the first
go.
thing I thought in my head when I saw that shit. I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, this is Disney?
Yeah, man. Yeah, they when they want to go there, they can definitely go there.
Apparently, but I wouldn't think they would get this fucking far.
Like
Like,
they may. I'm like, what
hey,
if?
I love it though. I didn't think they would. I
I
was
was
just
like,
surprised.
I was just thinking. I was like, man, what if he had the Infinity Gauntlet?
This guy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I know Thanos is evil because he kills worlds, but Fisk is looking like he would probably
Like,
scare the head out
oh
of
yeah,
Logan's
there'll be no Avengers, nothing to kill all vigilantes.
like, man, he just
Vigilantes. No.
like he would just wipe them out. Like, oh
Be
my
no more Avengers, nothing. No, no.
man, nothing. But and yeah, and all of the cops are just there. It's over now. He got him. Like he is, and even like what Gallo said is before he got killed, like you never stop being the kingpin.
Yeah. I
It
feel like
is
it like almost gave him permission to do the shit too.
yes,
You know what I mean?
is just
Even there, he don't got the American pin on him anymore either. There's like
yep.
a apple or some shit. But it's like you see that area of time, it's like he's not the mayor right now. He's the fucking kingpin right now. And then all the fucking cops in there seem pretty disgusted, like, oh shit, this is what I signed up for. Like
Yes, I was like
they
because
like you
it
dumb
it
fuck.
didn't seem like the strike team people.
Well, they were all basically newer recruits. They were like there was an original strike team, but they grew in numbers. They kept recruiting and recruiting. So
Okay.
that's what it was, right? You know what I mean? These weren't the original. Those motherfuckers were over there with the Punisher.
Yeah.
Those are the originals. These were newer
Yes.
recruits with Fisk, you know,
Hmm.
basically. So yeah, those are guys with Punisher, and they end up fucking knocking him out because he didn't join him, basically calling him pathetic or whatever. Like, you don't know what the fuck I've been through. Like, you guys ain't shit. You guys are pathetic. And they be like, oops, sorry to hear that. And they just started punching his ass, and that's how it ended with him.
Yeah.
But I
Definitely.
forgot, I forgot, like, let's say it was one part when he was fucking him up that, like, he actually stabbed one of those fucking cops in the fucking dick. Like, I was like, oh my God. Like, this Punisher, you're so gruesome. No.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was yeah, it was definitely brutal. Definitely brutal. And then it ends, well, we see them back at the bar.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why my dog is barking. Jesus. But it's a they're back at the bar, and it does seem like he's about to start recruiting. You see Cherry there. You see obviously the owner of the bars there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see our love Asian detective there, so she's on the right side, which is good.
Right.
Um, I was hoping that I know she's in the inside right now. I forget the reporter. Is it JoJo? I don't
Yeah.
know.
JJ or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
forget.
was hoping that maybe she was going to be there, but I do definitely understand. Like she's kind of working.
Yeah, they show different people. They show her too, just like thinking about shit. They show old boy, what's the young dude again that works for Fisk? That's like in love with him.
Daniel.
Daniel, yeah. They show him like looking like he's sitting in the mayor's seat.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
He's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all in. They show Sheila looking like she regretting what the fuck she did, they showing a
Hmm.
bunch of people, and then they basically got Fisk and Vanessa walking down, showing people they got in cages and shit. And then at the end, you see, of course, one of them is the Punisher.
Yeah. We
But
had the
they got the
swordsman was in there.
swordsman, right? The swordsman, a few other people, like the wealthy people that can help him. So he just keeps them captured and shit.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, and they're having dinner, just yeah, just with the blood splatter from Gallo on the.
Right?
I don't know if that's the wall or if they made a painting out
No,
of it.
that painting was from basically a blood splatter from one of the like I think the third season. I think that
Oh,
was they
I'm
kept
thinking that was
that.
the blood
No, the
from the.
blood that was on him was well, no, that was different. No, the blood
Ah,
on that
okay.
wall, no, that was they saved that because it was like a
Ah,
remembrance of some shit.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, that
yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. And so, yeah, I'm interested to see who's going to be in Daredevil's army. If
A lot of people were hoping like at the end they would do like Luke Cage and this
yeah,
Jessica Jones would show up. So people are still hoping for them to show up in the second season or whatever. We'll
yeah,
see. We'll see.
it's so funny because the actor who played Iron Fist, I didn't read the article, but I just read the headline, and it was like some along the lines of he heard the criticism of him being that character, and
Mhm.
he wants to redeem himself. Uh, and I could definitely see them bringing like a Luke Cage or even a Jessica Jones, but man, that Iron Fist was.
I
Ugh.
know. Yeah, I know. It
I
was
don't know
funny
about that,
because like
buddy.
a review I watched, they were talking about, oh, maybe to bring these people back, and then at the end, they're like, I guess we could bring them back. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, that's fucked
I
up.
would feel bad if they don't, but obviously it's hard to feel bad for people who got millions in the bank. I'm just saying, I'm saying like I
Yeah.
feel bad, but I'm out
Hey,
here, I'm out here poor.
no, but they are saying it's supposed to be like a Punisher. I don't know if it's like one episode
Yeah,
or
like
like
I heard it's like a
something.
premiere, like a Disney
Something,
premiere.
yeah,
I'm like, I did
yeah.
hear that.
And they say he might be like out there starting to recruit the
Oh,
other people
yeah,
for season two, basically.
yeah.
So we'll see.
I also heard a rumor as well that Foggy may still be alive. I
I
heard
doubt that.
something.
I doubt
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I doubt
I'm
that.
hoping. The only reason, like,
I would hate that if it did. Yeah.
yeah, I do like him as a character, but that fake out stuff is,
No, yeah,
you know,
that would be stupid as hell. I would
yeah.
hate that.
I did hear, yeah, definitely, and yeah, it was like a breakdown of the episode, or at least it was something I was reading that
Uh,
mentioned something that attached it. I can't remember.
Yeah,
But yeah, overall, I thought the episode and the series was
yeah,
really, really good. I'm
yeah. The only other thing was the
oh
after credits.
yeah, the handshake, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, he knows these cops like kind of worship him. So he kind of
yes,
used that shit, introduced him to the guy who was actually from Jersey, like he's from, or was it Jersey, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, yeah, Jersey, just like he's from Jersey.
Hmm.
And just like, hey, nice to meet you. It's like, it's his hand, he just fucking pulls it in,
Yeah, I
just
don't even know
breaks his
why you would
shit.
do
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah.
Like, oh
But
my
like I
God.
said, like because they worship this guy,
Yep.
that's why they all
Yeah.
got the fucking symbol and shit, thinking, so like he was able to play with that and get his
Yeah.
ass. So,
That's
but
wild.
yeah, that's how he gets out, and that's where their next little special is supposed to come from and shit. So we'll
Yeah, that
see.
yeah, yeah. I like I said, I love the, I can't wait for the next one. I'm hoping, hoping for another Moon Knight, that's for sure. I definitely enjoyed that.
I haven't
But
heard
yeah,
anything.
yeah, neither have I, man. But yeah, I rated 9 out of 10, man. I
Yeah,
thought it was very, very good.
same.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I am Melvin Banks,
And this is Ito, and we are
the Carbonation Conversation. Peace. Don't drink and drive.
freaking fine.
Peace.